Okay, this is the continuation to the last topic that I have to tackle to you for the finals. Uh, we have transactional analysis. So, what is uh, transactional analysis, by the way? So, of course, in order for us to understand what is transactional analysis, let me give you the short background about the origin of transactional analysis. So, it is actually developed by psychiatrist Eric Berne, no, is a form of modern psychology that examines a person's relationships and interaction. So Berne took inspiration from Sigmund Freud's theories of personality, combining them with his own observations of human interaction in order to develop transactional analysis. So if you can still remember, of course, I discussed to you before about the three provinces of the mind, which is the ego, superego, and id. Okay? So in therapy, transactional analysis can be used to address one's interactions and communications with the purpose of establishing and reinforcing the idea that each individual is valuable and has the capacity for positive change and personal growth. To make the long story short, so of course, gamit kay siya, no? Based on the video that I sent to you, nagkuan dito no, nag-suggest dito nga in our daily transactions or in communicating and using the medium of communication every day, so magamit na to siya no kung saan yung transactional analysis. So as we go on, no, I will be introducing to you the different the three different ego state, which is introduced by Dr. Eric Berne. So originally, this transactional analysis was introduced during 1950. So, asa man siya magamit tanan no in our daily endeavor. Pwede siya sa imong girlfriend, pwede sa imong mamagpapa. So, ang kuha na diri no is as long as you are capable of interacting with people, so you are using transactional analysis kay dili man no ang mahimo lang nato diri dili man ingon nga abi kay makatabi ka through verbal, but also transactional analysis uh, can also be done through actions sa atoang mga gestures. Okay? So, ingon diri, inspired by Freud's theory of personality, primarily his belief that the human psyche is multifaceted and that different components interact to produce a variety of emotions, attitudes, and complex behaviors. So, mao na siya, no? I need not to read everything because I will be, I will just give you the kwan lang para for you to understand better, okay? So, we have uh, the three, no? The parent, so consists of recordings of external events observed and experienced by a child from birth through approximately the first 5 years of life. So mga tag first 5 years of life from infant to 5 years old. No? These recordings are not filtered or analyzed by the child. No, they are simply accepted without question. So in the matter of it is actually the matter of conforming, no, with what are the rules being applied or being say tawag ni gilatag sa atong parents for us to saman to realize that sa atong pagpuyo din ng kalibutan, there are specific of rules that or set of rules that we needed to follow. Kaya the moment nga di ta mo follow, of course, ma-punishment ta. Okay? So as we go, as we grow older, we can understand that ang kinabuhi din, no, aside from the house rules that we have nga, like for example, do not play with matches, uh, remember to say please and thank you when someone is giving you or when you're going to ask for someone. So, ana, no? Yeah, do not speak to strangers. So, that is just the basic. But, here, as emphasized and based from the study, of course, yung Andre sa atong workbook in psychology, individuals who operate from a parent state may display a protective, nurturing, controlling, critical, or guiding rule. So they may refer to policies or standards by stating you know the rules, now follow them. So in the aspect no, of industrial setting, of course, we have the boss. So our boss, most of our boss, no, kanang dili gid most, no, but mo gini siya pinaka-importante. Uh, Bye, ma'am. So, um, ang atong boss, that becomes normal. No nga, mohatag sila nato og guidelines, maglatag sila nato og specific set of rules, ah kataga na no, it is kuha na siya kanang sagol na siya, no, like just like for example, um, sa ato ang mga head, no, ang mga manager nato, ang ilang gilatag nga rules, no, the company rules and the company policy, not necessarily nga rules ra, but the company policy aims, no, to protect at the same time, of course, ilang iyang gi-protect dili lang ang kuano ang kaning for the benefit of the company itself, but also para po sa atoa, no, to maintain harmony and peace, no, sa atuang trabahoan. So kaning atong boss, of course, ang atuang mga supervisor, kanang mga saba sila, that doesn't mean nga bati na sila, but of course they act as a parent. So mo na sila, no, ang ilang gi-possess nga personality. Now, the guiding rule, yes, part of that. We have nurturing because though dili siya, no, kanang ay ang atong understanding about nurturing is just like what our mother did to us, no, during sa bata pa nga patutyon ta. But for them, kanang paghatag og kanang mga idea is part of nurturing also, because you will soon grow, no, mo kuan ka, mo grow ka, mo lambo ka, mo taas ang imong experience. So that's the parent ego state. Nga, sir, kumusta man ang adult ego state? So, ang adult ego state, so individuals displaying this approach will appear to be rational, calculating, factual, and unemotional. So, in terms of decision making, so it relies on facts, data, processing, and estimating probabilities. What is the difference between parent and adult? So ang parent is more on unsa man kanang mo kuan siya, no, kanang mo discipline siya, and at the same time more on punishment. No, giving discipline and at the same time punishment, and also providing uh, rooms for you to grow as a person. Ang adult ego state is more on kuan siya, no, by means of rational, meaning to say, is like for example, pangutan-on ka, no, nga anaan ka sa imong boss nga what will you do pananglitan kung kanang just like for example, kung nakay kauban nga nahibal-an nimo nga nagpabadlong, no, nya murag iyang gi-violate ang company policy, what will you do? So of course, siyempre kung pangutanon ka sa imong boss, ana mingon di ka nga, boss kanang akong isulti boss, because what he is doing dili lang ingon nga kuano kana bang ang iyang gi-violate is sa usa lang ka tawo, but he is bringing the name of the company, and also the kuan ba kana bang ang pangalan sa company iyang gidala, no, ang integridad sa usa ka company iyang gidala. So of course I have the right kuan ba to report against sa iyang gibuhat nga di maayo. Okay, kaning mingon taog just like for example, kung mingon tag adult ego state, just like for example, pag bata na to, di ba, kabantay ta una, maligo ta sa una, mag-brief pa ta, no, pero if we are going to apply adult ego state, of course dili na ta mag-brief kay mauwa man ta. So ari po sa work pod, let me share to you something, class. Would this be possible to kanabang ma-acquire ni siya sa usa ka tawo ang kaning tulo ka ego state? Yes, no, pwede siya matuyok. Just like for example, sa trabahoan dili kalikayan, no, nga naay kanang childish ang child ego state, class mo na siya pagka childish, like maghuwat ka, no, maghuwat ka nga kanang tagaan ka ang idea before you are going to perform the task. So that is an act of having the child ego state. So mingon tag adult ego state. So of course, you need not no to receive, or you need not to be kana bang kailangan nga suguon ka sa imong boss na for you to functionalize with your job. Of course, automatically, if you have that adult ego state, meaning to say you're already responsible. Kanang an act of being responsible, that is an example of adult ego state. Kana bang less na kay kag supervision ba, no? Not at all times kinahanglan ay maglantaw nimo, magdiktar nimo on what to do. Okay? An adult ego state also kanang gingon diri nga based on research on facts, dili sa ka mo ditso lag tuo, no? Of course, you need to investigate. Mo nang kaning pagka-assertive, importante po ni siya, no? Because that is an adult ego state. Okay? So, arita sa child. So, individuals displaying this behavior reflect emotions similar to those of childhood, no? Like, for example, sa usa ka company, if there is someone, no, nga who will uh, kana bang act rebelliously, uh, that is an act of being someone childish, or that particular person, the mindset of the particular person uh, it takes place ano niya, iyang child ego state. Okay? We have spontaneous, dependent, o mingon tag dependent, of course, kung ano, kana bang kinahanglan lagi, kaya nga pa nimo istoryaan, no? Kaya nga pa nimo magsalig pa sa nimo, like, uh, there is a boss, no? Nya, musulti ang boss nga repeatedly na nagipabuhat sa imo nya, mabuhat pa kaniya o sitaran pa kaniya, no, sa kamo liho nga uh, being emotional, no, that is also part of being childish or child kapag ka emotional, so you act like a child. So the state looks for approval and immediate rewards. Sir, pangutana, puro raman negative imong nahatag, sir. Okay, I will give you the advantage. Uh, Before, no, I was working with the people, no. I was assigned before in COA. Unya, most of my kwa, no, mga superior are mga kwa na sila, mga gungguwang na gid sila class. Unya, I find it very boring. Why? Kay ngano, dili man ta ka kuno kasi siaw. O kani pag siaw is somehow importante man po na siya sa workplace, kay bati man po kung magsigil po kag seryoso, no, especially during break time. Naa po ng siaw, but not to the extent na mas mulabaw pa ang siaw kumpara sa serious. So of course, somehow you have to be to apply the adult ego state, kay para ang trabaho nimo dili magka salimao, no, mahisalaag. So too much adult uh too much uh, adult ego state dili siya maayo, because it seems very boring. Now, if you're a type of manager or a type of supervisor nga sobra po ka kapag ang parent kana bang ang parent ego state mao po nilabaw sa imuha, di po maayo, no, kay like mahimo mo kang bossy good, no, mahimo kang bossy, and then the tendency of that is less kay ka og kanabang patience in terms of uh, putting considerations sa kanang mga ginagmay lang, mga minimal lang kay nga mga sipiyat. So that is very important also. Ang pangutana, sir, asay mas mulabaw ani, of course it has to be balanced, no? It has to be balanced. uh, we can usually recognize the behavior not only by the tone but by postures. So gestures and facial expressions. Just like what I've said a while ago nga, dili lang sa verbal, no, but also ang ato ang body language, atong facial expression can also unsa man makakuan siya, no, may balaan siya, no, kung say ato ang feelings. Now we can also see that conversations can be complementary or contradictory. So a conversation between two individuals using an adult to adult. So what is effective? according to research here, no nga, ang adult to adult, um, parent to parent ego state, no, they are very effective. If it happens that the two of them will be in contradictory, of course, dili siya no mismatch siya. Just like example, ang imong boss serious kayo niya magbinata ang gyapon ka. So of course, the conflict will arise. Okay? So both see themselves as equals and therefore will try and find the best solutions to problems. So interactions may be contradictory or complementary. Pwede po no. Contradictory behaviors may be apparent to child. So this is what I mentioned a while ago, no? Adult to child, adult to parent. Pero this is according to research. Now, at some point, pwede po na to siya, no, ma-think nga inglani. Ah, ang atong boss, no, they are actually situated in that position because na-hire na sila diha because of their competence. Now, at some point, syempre, kung sila may mo share na to, we have to act like a child, no nga, like, uh, sila may source sa tuhang information, sila may source sa tuhang knowledge. So, of course, naga po'y positive, no, naga po siya positive at some point, ang kaning, the transactions between your boss and you as a worker, mo siya adult to child, naga po'y positive, not at all times nga negative siya. Okay? Adult to parent. So if your boss will act like a parent, no, he is mentoring you, no? Mentor siya nimo. So of course, you have to understand it maturely. You have to apply the adult ego state. Lain sa kay nag-mentor siya, yan ang imong gi-apply child ego state. Nagayaga ra kaniya, no? Namural ka, nagkabungol-bungol lang. So of course, mismatch. So in a conversation between a supervisor and an employee displaying a parent-to-child pattern, the employee may assume the behavior of a child and thus respond to the reward and punishment systems that exemplifies such behavior. On the other hand, a parent-to-adult interaction can also result in conflict and dissension due to the unacceptable approach of each participant. So while complementary interactions such as adult to adult, child to child, or parent to parent are the most desirable, so other interactions can be positive should both parties accept the parent to child or adult to child relationship. So more gina siya class no, the transactional analysis as introduced by Eric Byrne does not just serve the purpose for industrial setting but in all endeavors sa tuang pakig uh, interrelate and communicate with other people. Now, even you and your girlfriend, pwede. Pwede na siya magamit, no? Just like, for example, to avoid conflict, kung mangisog ang imuhang partner, ikaw po'y magpa-ubos. Kung ikaw may mangisog, imong partner na po, may mo-apply po og child ego state, willingness to listen, willingness to be reprimanded. So, inana na siya class, ang importante sa transactional analysis. It can be applicable to anything. Pwede, no? Pwede kaya siya sa medicine, sa industrial setting, sa production, anak, no? Tanan. Even sa mga BPO na mga industry. So, I hope this is where our topic for the finals ended. So, I hope you have learned a lot, no? And yeah, you can send comments if you have. So, thank you so much and God bless.